Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another tutorial by PS Tutorials. Today we'll be looking at how to make flawless skin. I don't know if you can see the difference because the quality may not be that good, but I'll just zoom in here. So there's not many blemishes on this person's face. I found it very difficult to find a face with a lot of blemishes, but I have provided the stock link below if you want to follow along. So as you can see, there are some blemishes like a freckle here, and then we tidy up the forehead to something like this, which is basically flawless skin. So let's get started. I'll just close this. So let's open our image, and then I'm going to grab the crop tool, and I'm just going to drag these corners in a bit because we're only working with the face. So now click the tick. Now we can zoom in and begin our retouching. So I'm going to start by getting rid of small blemishes like freckles, I don't know, spots if you want. So we're going to go and create a new layer. Alternatively, you can press layer, new layer, and we're going to name this blemishes. And then go to the tools palette, and we're going to grab the spot healing brush. If you go up to the brush settings at the top, 20 pixels is nice. Make sure your hardness is set to 100%, and then the rest should be set to its defaults, which is 25% spacing, 0 angle, 100% roundness. If you want, you can use a graphics tablet to follow along because it will be much more useful and much easier using graphics tablet. If you don't know what one of those is, it's like a mouse, but you use a pen instead for all your input and stuff. So right up here, if you have an older version of Photoshop, you might have to use proximity match instead. I advise you not to use create texture, but if you have a new version of Photoshop, you will have the content aware option. This means it samples content around your blemish and then fills it in with that content. Make sure sample all layers is ticked. Okay, so if I just drag a line and it didn't really do much, okay, I'll drag over the eye. Okay, you see you have an effect. If we undo that, untick sample all layers, nothing will happen because we're only sampling from this layer and there's nothing actually on this layer. This is a non-destructive technique, so if you make any mistakes you can quickly go back. So let's click sample all layers, and all you have to do basically is click. And as you can see, I'll zoom in a bit. With the spot healing brush tool, you just click and your blemish goes away. This is great for smaller blemishes. So as you can see here, we've got a bit of blemish here. And we'll just get rid of that. Tidy that up. Get rid of that freckle. So I'm going to start from the top. Get rid of that. And I'm going to probably best zoom out a bit, and I'm just going to go around clicking places. Don't worry about this, we'll tidy that up in a minute. Clicking places that need a bit of work. You can undo with Control Z. That's probably the most useful tool. I'm going to turn the hardness up a bit, and that's not good. Let's leave that bit there for now. We'll figure that out. Yep, that's good. I'm just going to go around. I'm very picky, as you can see. Keep the brush size down. Just get that one. And yep, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. You see there's a bit of discoloring here. Just turn the brush size up. Get rid of that. It's doing a nice job. Right now, if we untick that, any blemishes you've removed will come back, as you can see. I've just seen one more on the nose. Turn the brush size down. Good, just get that. Gonna get rid of every blemish. Society's view of perfect. Okay. Now that we've done that, for bigger areas like say the forehead, you can, for the wrinkles if you want, use this tool and just drag along, and that will do a very reasonable job. So I'm just going to do that. Nope. Right, as you can see, the problem with this tool, if you get close to an area, it begins like to sample the hair and placing hair where we don't want it and stuff like that. So if we do it next to the eye, you see we got this really weird sampling. So for the forehead, but yeah, just be aware of that. Right now we want to use the paintbrush tool and paint over large areas to get that really flawless, blemish-free look. So if we go create a new layer, and let's name this, let's name it paintbrush. Okay. And I'm going to group these layers so I can quickly turn them both off. You click the create new group button, and then what I did there, selected both of these, and then drag it into the group, and we'll name this retouching. So now we can just turn the group off, and then it turns all the layers off. So now if you go to your paintbrush tool, and I'm going to set mine to about 189. That's nice. Hardness of 0%, and an opacity of 20% will do. And what we'll do, we will hold Alt, and this allows you to sample from a color. So if we click that, we're now sampling. As you can see, it's changing. So I'm going to hold Alt roughly there, and then I'm just going to begin clicking. As you can see, and then just Alt click. You've got to make sure you kind of replicate the same color that was originally here. So I'm just going to Alt click. So basically we're painting over the top of the image. I believe this is how a lot of the professional retouching is done. I'm not quite sure. If you want, you can zoom in, and let's sort this area out. We're going to grab paintbrush tool, bring the size down to about 86, and just going to get rid of this blemish. Yeah, we'll just continue down this nose line. Now let's decrease the size to 64. Bring that in. I'm sorry if I'm going a bit fast for some of you. I don't want this tutorial to go on too long. And we're just gonna tidy up this area. So basically, yeah, I'm just sampling, clicking a couple of times with my mouse. If you've got a graphics tablet, great. This will make your job so much easier. And you can see we've still got some lines in the forehead, so bump up the brush size. Just a quick sample, and we're just gonna click over. Be careful not to go on the hair and stuff, because then we get this really unrealistic effect. Right now I'm going to sort this area out. In fact, let's zoom out and see what it's looking like so far. So we can untick this layer. I don't know how much of a difference you can see. I see quite a difference on my screen. I'll zoom in for you there. Let's go to the forehead. Yep. If we untick, get that. Tick. Looking really flawless, like the title says. So let's zoom in, sort this area out. In fact, let's give the healing brush tool a try. So what this does, this is a lot like your clone brush. So you basically sample an area. Let's say, let's just bring down the brush size. Say here, and what it does, it paints over, but then goes and blends in what you've just cloned. I don't know how well I'm explaining it, so if we undo that, let's do it with the eye. So let's make it nice and big. I'm gonna grab the eye, yeah. So put that down. It then blends in all the sides, which is much better than using the clone tool. So if we grab the clone tool, turn the hardness up, grab that. Sorry, we're not sampling from all layers, are we? Grab that, paint over. Doesn't blend in the sides, does it? So for this, let's go back down to our blemishes layer and grab our healing brush tool. Bring down the size to 60 something. Nope, let's bring down the size even more. Grab this area and just go over it. See? Nice and easy. Now I'm going to go over that with the paintbrush a bit. So let's go back up to our paintbrush layer, grab the paintbrush, zoom in a bit, turn the size up, turn it down, too big, 90 will do, around 90. And I'm just going to go over a bit. Yep. And I'm just gonna go over this bit of the forehead. Looking good, guys. Yep. You can I've discovered this shortcut recently preparing this tutorial. If you hold Alt and then scroll back and forth on the mouse wheel, you can zoom in. And if you hold Control and scroll up and down, you move sideways. So I wonder if holding Shift, yep, holding Shift moves it up and down. Holding Control pans it left to right. Holding Alt zooms in and out. See? Right, now we just want to go ahead and blend this bit in because it's looking a bit, sticks out a bit. So I'm just going to grab this color and just bring that in a bit. Right. Now that that's done, still not looking right, this bit here. I'm just going to go over it very quickly. Sorry. Bring my brush size up and just there you go. Okay. Now let's work on this part of the face. Again, let's go back down to our blemishes layer. Grab the healing brush tool. Alt click to choose your source, and I'm just going to go over. If you want, you can use this as an alternative to the spot healing brush tool. But as I'm doing now, I could be using the. And as you can see, we've got some wrinkles here, so I'm just gonna sample. Let's get back to the spot healing brush tool. Get rid of some of these. Okay, yep, we'll just get rid of these wrinkles quickly. Well, part of the wrinkle. You have to leave some imperfections in there, because then it just goes on to look really unrealistic. Let's get rid of that. So now we're going to sort this area out. Go back to our paintbrush layer, bring the brush size down to about 100, and we'll just begin painting over. I'll make it a bit bigger actually, and zoom out, holding, yeah, hold Alt, my new favorite shortcut. And as you can see, we'll just be careful not to go overboard on the paint there, because as I said earlier, it just looks really unrealistic. So I'm just gonna just sort this area out, bring brush size down, and in fact we might just sort these out a bit by grabbing the healing brush tool, sampling from an area, and just bring them in a bit, give them more of a softer edge, you know. Not quite working, so if we turn the hardness down a bit. Okay, let's undo that. That's fine. And as you can see, I've made a mistake and put that on the paintbrush layer, but not to worry, as this is a tutorial. and I'm allowed to make mistakes. Okay, guys? Now we'll just finish off here. Grab paintbrush tool and just sort this bit of click in here. If you do make a mistake, you can use the rubber tool and just go over, sorting this area out. Grab the healing brush tool, size down. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I don't know how far we should. Yep, that's looking good. Paintbrush tool. We'll just blend this in a bit. Bring this around. Get rid of that. Nope, undo. And just bring that up. There's not really much else I want to do now. I'll probably just blend this bit, make this bit a bit more. I'll bring that up. Bring that. And if you want, you can just do the nose a bit. It's really subjective. It just depends how perfect you want this image to look. I think we are done. And that is it. So we can untick that and see how much work we've actually done. And now you can apply this to your own photos. And if you want, you can flatten this layer down by going layer, flatten image. And that now makes it all one image, as you can see in the layers palette. And that's it, guys. Have a good day.